Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report right here on Bucks Island social channels presented by Mercury. As always, we're going to talk to our sources, our friends up there at Guntersville, Logan Martin, Lay, and Weiss and Neely Henry. Tune in. You'll find out what the bite is. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 17th, presented by Mercury. Hey, we're going to head down to Logan Martin with Josh Herron. Josh, tell us what's going on down there at Logan Martin.
Man, fish are actually finally starting to bite. Got a little rain, got a little cooler nights again. As long as we can get some stable weather, things are actually looking pretty decent.
What's the water temperature been down there? Has it started to cool off some? Is that what's driving the fish?
Man, well, a couple weeks ago, we got down into the, mid to low 60s, and then it kind of spiked back up with this warmer weather we had. And then we just got this rain, so it's back down around 64, 65, which is prime time for moving baits.
So what kind of techniques are you finding catching those fish down there?
Spinner baits, they're starting to get on a little crankbait deal. So any of those little transition banks halfway back in creeks are really good places to look at, secondary points, stuff like that.
That sounds pretty fun. Any big bites coming?
They're sporadic. You can expect maybe one or two a day, but like I said, as we get closer to December, it's going to pick back up. Your numbers are going to fall off, but your quality is going to go up.
Yeah, anytime you can trade quality for quantity, sometimes that's a desired trait. So let's take us down to Lay Lake. What's going on down there on that end of the lake?
And Lay still kind of got me baffled. You can catch a lot of fish. They're just little. I'm not really sure where the better bites are coming from right now. You can go down and you can have 20 and 30 fish days, but you're going to be looking at that 10 to 12 pound range, it seems like. And I really haven't been able to figure out a bigger bite yet.
Well, I'm sure that things are going to start to change and people are going to find out a little bit more as that Bassmaster Open starts getting closer. What about the crappie bite? Which lake would you go to right now if you were going to turn to a crappie fishing?
Neely Henry.
Okay, tell me what's going on down there at Logan and Lay, though, in that.
I have no idea. I haven't been. Right now on Neely, if you're basing it off the rest of the Coosa River, you've got a lot of crappie that are still on main lake docks. For whatever reason, they haven't seen transition into the creeks that much. I'm sure it's coming in the next few weeks. But those 4 to 8 foot main river docks are still where I'm seeing them at.
Just shooting docks, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, man. Sit on your butt, run an old tricks with your remote, and go old man fishing.
So that's what you've been doing with your dad, right? I've seen you guys out there playing a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Everybody needs a brand new boat to go crappie fishing in.
Well, Josh, thanks for spending some time with us today. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 14th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head on up to Guntersville and check in with Tom Ott. Tom, we see you won yourself a nice little derby this weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah. You got a blind sow picks up an acre now and again, I guess. But we definitely got fortunate and picking up another couples win out there with the ABA. So we were pretty stoked with that. And I tell you what, with Mother Nature throwing us these curveballs, I guess screwballs, that's what she keeps throwing. We still need that cold weather to really get things rocked up. You got to just move around. You got to keep that mercury in the water. You got to keep it fired up because, a fish here, a fish there is kind of where we're at. I think we caught 2 large fish early in the morning. We struggled to work on a good solid limit anyway. But the swim baits in that 4 foot of water was really where the most productive areas we found. We saw some bait flicking. We had a little bit of wind coming through. Typical northwest wind coming in off of, into Guntersville off the mountains, northeast wind. But, it was just a cool morning. We got a lot of ripples. So the fish they just haven't gotten into that group yet. And again, I think we need those cooler temperatures. We're still in the lower 60s, 62 to 64. We just need that cold snap to really push those fish and get them grouped up the way they should be this time of year.
Are they still kind of congregating around the grass, or are you looking in more rocky areas and transition areas?
I've definitely been sticking with the grass. It seems to be the most consistent areas I can find the bites. I'm looking at grass bars on the river channel as well as those flats, those grassy flats that are off of the channel. So either behind the river channel or in your large creeks and bays with the large expansive flats. And really just following bait fish, looking for those bait fish, flicking, jumping, and looking for some fish chasing.
Well, we talked to Jason Hart, one of our crappie pros. He said that the crappie are starting to hang up on creek channels, 18 feet of water, so jigging, and also a little bit of dock fish. Are you seeing some activity that way yourself?
Certainly. Now, I haven't really been hunting the crappie yet, but I've got some good ears out there, and they're definitely getting around the bridge pilings. I saw some real nice bags come in this week. Some guys fishing under those bridges and around the rocks and so on and so forth. The fish do seem to be a little bit shallow still, so they're telling me really light jigs, but trying to fish above those fish is tough this time of year. Again, we need Mother Nature to get a little bit of cool water.
Well, as always, Tom, we appreciate the time. Again, congratulations to you and Miss Jennifer on your win, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks so much, Dano. You have a great one.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 14th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head to Weiss Lake with our good friend Lee Pitts, the crappie king of Weiss Lake, but also known to catch a bass or two. Lee, tell us what's going on at Weiss.
Hey, man, things are looking a little bit better. We had a tournament out of Little River this last weekend. Just about everybody caught fish. It didn't catch a lot of big fish, but, man, everybody was catching fish, had a good time, had several upper 15-pound stringers, a couple of 14s, and then it kind of tailed off a little bit. But the thing is, everybody I talked to, even I caught a couple. So, man, I was happy. I got to get out and get out there and play a little bit. So it felt good to catch one of them old greenheads.
So 15 pounds, what kind of weights, what kind of baits are they doing to catch that? What are they throwing?
Most everybody were out in the shallows, the backs of the creeks. They're getting around these docks, and the lakes came down. A lot of visible structures out there now. Chatterbaits, square bills. I had some topwater bites, throwing a 1/4-ounce buzz bait. Had some fish, in the real shallow water, roll on a spook. Most of it was back on wood cover, back on these docks, on the corner posts and things like that on the docks. Chatterbait, some of the bigger fish came off a chatterbait. Square bill, a little 1.5, something like that.
What about Neely Henry? What are we seeing out of there?
You're looking at it now too. A spinnerbait bite's been real good at Neely. They've downsized that spinnerbait, throwing it around some of the eddy spots, got some current moving on it. That and that square bill has been real good this last week on Neely.
So overall, between the two places, crappie bite starting to pick up just a little bit?
Yeah, it was. We had some high winds Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The wind really picked up. We were catching our better fish out there off of the main ledges, main lake, some of the creek ledges, deeper water, vertical approach, dropping minnows down to them, dropping jigs down with some heavier heads that you could just really, really manipulate that wood cover. But with the wind blowing, you couldn't do that. So we backed off into the creeks the last few days. What I've done, catching more small fish in the creeks, catching some numbers, but just catching small fish. The bigger fish are still out in the main lake. They've not really started pulling up in there yet. Hopefully with the cooler water coming, we're still looking at yesterday. I was on the water, 63, 64, some places 65 degrees still. That water needs to cool on down and drop down, get in the 50s. And those fish will start pulling in there and really, really feeding up, and the bigger fish will start biting.
Well, thanks, Lee. We appreciate it as always. That'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 14th. Don't forget, subscribe, like, click, participate, and you'll be notified when everything goes live on our social media channels. Thanks for spending the time with us this weekend, and we will talk to you again soon.